Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of specific coins, the top 4 most valuable Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny. So let's get started. First up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, especially when it is found in dirty or worn condition. Many people come across this coin in old jars, collections, or inherited boxes and wonder if it could be valuable. The truth is, even a dirty coin can still carry real value, depending on a few important factors. Let's start with some background. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was first introduced in 1909 and continued until 1958. The 1944 penny is part of this famous series. During World War II, the United States faced a shortage of copper because it was needed for military supplies. In 1943, pennies were made from steel instead of copper. However, in 1944, the mint returned to using copper again, but this time, much of it came from recycled shell casings from the war. Now let's focus on the 1944 wheat penny without a mint mark. When a coin has no mint mark, it means it was produced in Philadelphia. This is important because Philadelphia minted a very large number of these coins in 1944, making them quite common compared to some other rare variations. So, the big question is, how much is a 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark worth today, especially in dirty condition? If your coin is heavily worn, dark, or dirty, which is very common, its value is usually based on its copper content and basic collector demand. In most cases, a typical 1944 no mint mark penny in poor or average circulated condition is worth around $0.02 to $0.10. Even if the coin looks old and has dirt or discoloration, that alone does not make it rare. If the coin is slightly better, meaning the details of Lincoln's face and the wheat ears on the back are still visible, the value can go up to around $0.15 to $0.50. But again, condition plays a major role. Dirt, scratches, and heavy wear reduce the value significantly. Now here is where things get really interesting. There are rare error versions of the 1944 penny that can be extremely valuable. For example, a 1944 steel penny is one of the most famous error coins in U.S. history. These were mistakenly struck using leftover steel blanks from 1943. If you ever find a 1944 penny that sticks to a magnet, it could be steel, and its value can reach tens of thousands of dollars, depending on condition. Another rare type is the 1944 penny struck on a foreign planchette or with double die errors. These are uncommon but highly collectible. However, these rare varieties are not the same as the regular dirty 1944 copper penny that most people find. It is also very important to mention that cleaning your coin can actually reduce its value. Many beginners try to wash or polish old coins to make them look better, but collectors prefer coins in their natural state. Even if the coin looks dirty, it is better to leave it as it is. To quickly summarize, a regular 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in dirty condition is usually worth between $0.02 and $0.10. Slightly better condition coins can go up to around $0.50. Only rare error versions like the steel penny can be worth thousands. Before you ignore that old penny, always take a closer look. Check the date carefully, test it with a magnet, and compare it with known examples. Sometimes a small detail can make a huge difference in value. Next up, the 1918 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark. Many people come across this coin in old jars, family collections, or even in circulation years ago. And the first question that comes to mind is simple: how much is it worth today? Especially if the coin is dirty or heavily worn. Let's start with a bit of background to understand why this coin matters. The 1918 Lincoln Wheat Penny series began in 1909 and continued until 1958. The 1918 penny is part of the earlier years of this series, which already gives it historical significance. This coin features the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and unity. Now, when we say the coin has no mint mark, that means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time, Philadelphia coins did not carry a mint mark, unlike coins from Denver or San Francisco. In 1918, millions of these pennies were produced, so the coin itself is not extremely rare in general. However, its condition plays a very big role in determining its value. Let's talk about the most important part of this video, the condition of the coin. Many viewers specifically ask about dirty coins. A dirty coin usually means it has been in circulation for a long time. It may have dark brown or black toning, visible dirt, wear on the surface, scratches, or even small damage marks. In coin collecting terms, this type of coin is considered to be in low-grade condition, often classified as good, very good, or fine, depending on how much detail is still visible. If your 1918 wheat penny is heavily worn, where Lincoln's face is smooth and most of the details on the wheat ears are faded, then the value will be on the lower side. In today's market, such a coin is typically worth around $0.20 to about $0.50. This is only slightly above its face value, but it still holds some collectible appeal due to its age. Now here is something very important that many beginners do not realize. Cleaning a dirty coin is not recommended. It might seem like a good idea to make the coin look shiny and new, but cleaning can actually damage the surface and reduce its value. Collectors prefer coins in their natural state, even if they look dirty or dark. A cleaned coin often loses its original texture and can be worth less than before. Another factor that can affect value is whether the coin has any unique errors or varieties. Even a worn or dirty 1918 wheat penny can become valuable if it has a rare minting error. For example, you can look for doubling in the date or letters, unusual shapes, or any kind of misprint. While these are not very common, they can significantly increase the value of the coin if found. Also, keep in mind that market demand plays a role. Lincoln Wheat Pennies are extremely popular among collectors worldwide. Many collectors aim to complete a full set, which keeps even common coins like the 1918 penny in steady demand. Because of this, even lower-grade coins can still be sold and collected. Let's also talk briefly about how you should store your coin. Even if your coin is in dirty condition, proper storage can prevent further damage. Using a simple coin holder, album, or protective sleeve can help preserve its current state and avoid additional wear. Now, to summarize everything clearly, the 1918 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a historic coin, but not extremely rare. In dirty and heavily worn condition, its value usually ranges from about $0.20 to about $0.50 in today's market. The actual value depends on how much detail is left on the coin. Coins with better visibility of design elements will be worth more than those that are extremely worn. However, always check your coin carefully. If you notice anything unusual or different, it could be worth more than expected. Small details can sometimes make a big difference in coin collecting. If you found this information helpful and want to learn more about coins that could be hiding value in your collection, make sure to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. There are many more coins to explore, and you never know what treasure you might already have in your pocket or at home. Next up is the 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark. This is one of those coins that many people already have in their homes, sitting in old jars, boxes, or collections, but they are not sure if it has any real value. So today, we will break it down in a simple and clear way so you can understand exactly what your coin might be worth in today's market. The 1956 Wheat Penny belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was produced from 1909 all the way to 1958. On the front side of the coin, you will see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and on the back side, there are two wheat stalks, which is why these coins are known as wheat pennies. These coins are very popular among collectors because they represent an important part of American history and were used in everyday life for many decades. Now, let's talk about the mint mark because this is something that confuses a lot of people. If your 1956 penny does not have any letter below the date, it simply means it was minted in Philadelphia. During that time, Philadelphia coins did not include a mint mark, so this is completely normal and does not make the coin rare by itself. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint produced a very large number of these coins in 1956. When it comes to value, the first thing you need to understand is that the 1956 no mint mark wheat penny is generally a common coin. More than 420 million of these pennies were made, which means they are still easy to find today. Because of this high mintage, most of these coins do not have a high value unless they are in exceptional condition or have some kind of error. If your coin is in normal circulated condition, meaning it looks old, dirty, and has been used in daily transactions, then its value is usually between 3 cents to 10 cents in today's market. This is the typical range for a coin that shows wear, has some dirt or discoloration, but still has a visible date and design. Even though the value is not very high, it is still more than its original face value. A very important thing you should always check is whether your coin has any kind of minting error. Error coins can be much more valuable than regular coins. Look closely at the date and the letters. If you notice doubling, where the numbers or letters appear slightly duplicated, or if the coin is off-center or has an unusual strike, then the value can increase significantly. Some error coins can be worth several dollars or even more depending on how rare and noticeable the error is. Another important tip is to never clean your coin. Many people think that cleaning an old coin will make it more valuable, but in reality, it usually reduces the value. Collectors prefer coins in their original, natural condition, even if they look dirty or dark. Cleaning can damage the surface and remove important details, which lowers the coin's appeal to serious buyers. In the end, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with no mint mark is mostly a common coin, but it is still worth checking carefully. A normal, dirty, and circulated coin is usually worth between 3 to 10 cents. Better examples can reach up to 25 cents, and damaged coins may only be worth a couple of cents. However, if you find an error or a coin with better condition, the value can be higher. So always take your time, examine your coins closely, and you might discover something more valuable than you expected. Next up, the 1941 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark. If you have ever searched through old coins, inherited a collection, or checked inside a coin jar, there's a good chance you may have come across this coin. The big question is, how much is it really worth today, especially in extra fine condition? Let's explore everything step by step. First, let's understand what this coin actually is. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny belongs to the famous Wheat Cent series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. This series is one of the most popular among collectors because of its historical importance and classic design. On the front of the coin, you will see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, which was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate his 100th birthday. On the back, you will notice 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent, which is why these coins are commonly called wheat pennies. Now, when we say the coin has no mint mark, it means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. During that time, Philadelphia coins usually did not carry a mint mark, unlike coins from Denver or San Francisco, which used D and S marks. So, if your 1941 penny does not have a letter under the date, it is from Philadelphia. Let's move on to mintage. In 1941, over 1 billion Lincoln Wheat Pennies were produced in Philadelphia alone. Because of this very high number, the coin is considered common in lower grades. However, this does not mean it has no value. The key factor that determines how much your coin is worth is its condition. Now, let's focus on extra fine condition, which is very important for today's topic. A coin in extra fine condition, often abbreviated as XF or EF, shows only light wear on the highest points of the design. On the front, Lincoln's hair details are still mostly visible, though there may be slight wear on the top of his head and cheek. The coat lines and bow tie remain sharp. On the back, the wheat stalks still show strong lines, and most of the fine details are clearly visible. Coins in this condition are much more desirable than heavily worn coins because they still retain much of their original detail while being more affordable than uncirculated pieces. Now, let's talk about the value in today's market. A 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in extra fine condition typically sells for around $2 to $5. This is the general market range based on recent sales and collector demand. However, the exact value can vary depending on several important factors. One of the biggest factors is color. Copper coins like the 1941 penny are often categorized into three color groups: brown, red-brown, and red. Brown coins are the most common and usually fall on the lower end of the value range. Red-brown coins have a mix of original red color and some toning, which can increase their value slightly. Full red coins, which still have most of their original mint color, are more desirable and can sometimes sell for higher prices even in extra fine condition. Another factor is overall eye appeal. Even within the same grade, some coins simply look better than others. A clean coin with smooth surfaces and no major scratches, stains, or spots will always be more attractive to collectors and may sell closer to the higher end of the price range. It is also worth mentioning that while the 1941 penny is generally common, there are always exceptions. Some coins may have mint errors or varieties that make them more valuable. For example, doubled letters, off-center strikes, or other unusual features can significantly increase the value. However, these are not common, and most 1941 no mint mark pennies you find will be standard coins. Now, you might be wondering, what if your coin is in better condition than extra fine? If your coin is in about uncirculated condition, meaning it shows only the slightest trace of wear, the value can increase to around $8 to $12. If it's in mint state condition with no wear at all, the value can go even higher, depending on how well it's been preserved. On the other hand, if the coin is heavily worn, scratched, or damaged, the value may drop to just a few cents above its face value, even though it's still collectible. For collectors, the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Penny is an important piece because it helps complete date sets of the Wheat Cent series. Many beginners start with these coins because they're affordable and easy to find while still offering historical value. If you have one of these coins, it's always a good idea to examine it carefully under good lighting. Look at the details on Lincoln's hair and the wheat stalks. Check for any unusual features or errors. And if you think your coin might be in a higher grade, you may even consider getting it professionally evaluated. To sum it all up, the 1941 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark is a common but collectible coin. In extra fine condition, its value today generally falls between $2 and $5, depending on color, condition, and overall appearance. While it may not be extremely rare, it's still a valuable piece of history and a great addition to any coin collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more coin collecting content. See you next time. Happy collecting!